just take, for instance, the fraud in Minnesota. We're looking at, Somalians have taken over great portions of this state, or at least the big cities. And we're looking at the fraud. They've stolen tons of taxpayer dollars and set up fake daycares and other fake businesses, which is a huge problem. But that is not the only problem. It is much deeper because a lot of Muslims will, like you said, the civilization jihad, where they move in and slowly build up their own civilization within another one. And they appear to be peaceful. Hey, we're just all neighbors here. But one of the things that people need to understand is it takia?
Takia.
Which is deception.
Yes.
You're supposed to deceive your enemies.
Right, exactly.
Can you explain that?
So Allah himself is the great deceiver, which is actually true, I believe, because Muhammad knew, and it's written in the most trusted Islamic sources, that he was initially visited by a demon in the cave. And he ended up changing his story and saying that it was the angel Gabriel through the influence of his wife and her uncle. But Allah boasts in the Quran on 2 different occasions of being the greatest of all deceivers, the best of deceivers. In 3 or 4 other places, he repeats that he is a deceiver. Not only does he say that, if a Muslim says, oh no, it really means planner, which it doesn't, and like I said, all you need is an Arabic English dictionary to see that, although I wouldn't put it past them to even start changing dictionaries. That's what we've done, like you pointed out, just change the dictionary. We see Allah not just claiming to be deceptive, but actually deceiving in the Quran. And so the Quran also says that Allah, that it was made to appear as if Jesus was killed and crucified, but he wasn't. Allah actually raised him to himself. Allah raised Jesus up to himself directly instead of everybody thought was happening, who was present. All the eyewitnesses and historical records all agree that Jesus was crucified and killed by crucifixion during the reign of Pontius Pilate, under the reign of Tiberius. There's really no disagreement there at all, except among those who blindly believe the Quran and don't look into the history. And the way the Quran explains it is that Allah is a great deceiver. So I'll ask Muslims, who made it appear? Because it doesn't specifically say, it implies it, but it doesn't specifically say Allah made it appear as if. It says it was made to appear as if Jesus was killed and crucified. Rather, Allah raised him to himself. So it's implied that Allah did it all. But I'll ask Muslims, who made it appear as if Jesus was crucified, such that Mary, his own mother, was wrong about her, and John, the disciple, was wrong, and all of these eyewitnesses were wrong. And they say every time, Allah made it appear. He's the only one who could pull off such a thing, right? And so I tell them, well, so Allah is the greatest of all deceivers, and he is personally responsible for Christianity and for all the souls lost to hell as a result of deceiving them. By the way, the Quran does say, as explicitly as that Allah himself actively and intentionally leads people astray who he doesn't want to be saved. And so of deception, taqiya is one of the terms for it. I think taqiya is the term more commonly used among Shia Muslims. I forget the term among Sunni, but it's the same concept. Allah was a deceiver. Muhammad was a deceiver. He regularly deceived people and encouraged his followers to deceive other people so that he could kill them, have them assassinated, etc. Muhammad, the excellent pattern of conduct, is also a deceiver. And it's just common practice that lying and deceiving in order to advance Islam is part of Islam. It is what's supposed to be done. It is a commonly practiced doctrine. And it's actually, if you spend much time with Muslims, you'll kind of start to realize that actually lying and deception tends to just be common practice. I think probably once some degree of lying and deception is permitted and even praised, it just becomes easy to lie and deceive about everything.